On to some corporate action as well. We can't really neglect that. The markets are at about 7,500, but a stock is in the green, and that is 8K Miles, marginally at that. Not a bad set of numbers by them. Revenues have gone up 21%, PAT up 30%. Not bad. EBITDA margins stable as well. Suresh Venkatachari, Chairman and CEO of 8K Miles, Johnson, for a very quick perspective. Very strong quarter across all parameters for you as a company, Suresh. Is this sustainable growth in the first place? Is my first question for the next few quarters, because the world is looking a bit uncertain. Two, what's gone right for you this quarter?
If you see, the cloud computing itself is actually growing at a very aggressive compounded annual rate of more than 20 to 25% actually or year on year. So there is a great opportunity in the cloud computing market, and various analysts like a Gartner and other players actually projecting by 2018 it's going to be like in the infrastructure space about 45 plus billion, and then in the software SaaS model, and overall about 40 billion market. So it's a great market, number one. And secondly, all the enterprises are just started adapting the cloud. They are not even in a, I would say probably cross more than 10%. So it's going to be next minimum 3 years and maximum 5 to 6 years before every enterprise becomes transformed into the cloud. It's not about a migration of an application into the cloud anymore. It's actually a cloud transformation. We are building a center of competence for the cloud, which is a complete transformation, moving from the data center into a cloud-based model over 3 to 5 years. So we do see a great opportunity in terms of moving into the cloud, and after that, upselling across in analytics and many other plays.
Suresh, right now what you are reporting is an excellent quarter-on-quarter growth rate of 30% plus. Somewhere the base effect would kick in, right? So what I want to understand from you is that for how many more quarters this kind of a run rate will continue?
So if you see, right, the very important is cloud is not a commodity. Okay? What we do differentiate is on our application platform. The platform which actually accelerate the entire cloud transformation process. So it's a step-by-step where we take a company which has an in-house data center or outside hosted and data center and move into the cloud and build the application. So that's a big difference. And also we automate, we build a lot of artifacts, libraries, and kind of a thing, which is a very specialized focus on life science and healthcare. So the scalability and profitability will able to justify and significantly improve over a period of time when the recurring revenue model is fully kicked in.
Okay. I want to also understand the general, competitive environment. The area in which you are present right now, the competition only has intensified from large players to small players. Everybody wants to be in the cloud space, starting from an Amazon to a TCS. Everybody wants to have a pie of the digital stroke, the cloud space. So what is your view on competition? Because when competition will intensify, the environment will only get challenging.
So it was not pretty clear what's your question, because I think the distraction. But what I presume is, if you see, there are several cloud players, like the bigger players like Amazon, Microsoft, they deliver the cloud infrastructure. But to engage an enterprise, move from a traditional data center model into the cloud, you need a very, very expert, a different kind of a process, agile process, and also a system, process, and tools. This is what 8K Miles was investing for the last 6-7 years. So our growth actually, the IP what we have built, that's actually our major differentiator, I would say.
Right. Very quickly then, highlight for us what your order book looks like right now and what could be the key deals in the pipeline.
See, we do not give any financial guidelines, but what I can tell you is in the last few quarters, we have acquired a Fortune 500 enterprise, several Fortune 500, and that's actually really driving our growth in a much, much bigger way. What we see is a great stickiness to the clients and also able to generate a sustainable revenue model. This is a big different dimension is happening in the cloud space. Historically, if you really look at many companies, right, where only the small business units were adapting the cloud. That was a story in the 2014, even 15, I would say, part of the middle of the year. Now the enterprises are actually changing and building a cloud center of competence, even like a player like Amazon or Microsoft, everybody is pushing to the direction where a cloud competence center coexists with your outsourcing or a managed services, then you start integrating over a period of time. And again, the cloud computing center, it's not like a commoditized technology people. It's a very sophisticated, a lot of experts, and also with a lot of IT driven around.
Right.
So,
Right, Suresh, we just got you in a terrible line. I'm afraid we'll have to leave it there. Really appreciate your time and thank you for joining us. L&T is at a fresh 52-week low. ICICI Bank is not far away from a 52-week low. Federal Bank is marching towards a 52-week low. So these are stalwart stocks, bluest of the blue chip stocks, which are sitting at a 52-week low. And this is again a big assumption which has got reset and which has got retested. This general assumption was economy will come back, demand will come back, credit book will expand, and the large players which represent which